The 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello, basketball fans. I'm Ernie Johnson, welcoming you to 2K Sports. I'm here with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. Our game tonight featuring the Cleveland Cavaliers as they go up against the Minnesota Timberwolves at Target Center. Well, for Minnesota, they lost their first matchup against these guys. This, their final game against them in the regular season, looking to finish with a split. And tonight, two top-tier centers going toe-to-toe. Obviously, the center position has become more multi-dimensional than ever. Shaq, give us your thoughts on how your position has evolved.
Well, the new defensive rules make it harder to post up. Versatility has never been more important for centers. Start.
It's the Timberwolves in Minnesota for a little interconference action here at the Target Center. 2K Sports is proud to present NBA basketball. Hi, this is Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg, Greg Anthony, our sideline reporters, the Hall of Famer David Aldridge, and wouldn't you know it, our good friend KG, Kevin Garnett, has come by to say hello and join us. Kevin, great to see you.
Hey, Hall, what's up, man? How you doing, man?
I'm glad you're here.
It's good to see you, man.
Ready to go?
I'm always ready. What's up?
Cavaliers, this is the last game before heading back to Cleveland. So important to get off on the right foot. New year, new season. These guys have done it.
And they're 1-0 against them this season. And this is the final matchup. So a little bit of extra incentive tonight, knowing they have a chance for the season sweep.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, whether it's 2 games or 20, you'd love to go on.
Now it's headed down to David Aldridge, standing by from the sidelines. David?
Thank you, Kevin. Jimmy Butler survived them.
Thanks, David. You can tell Butler has a good head on his shoulder. He's an elite talent in this league because of the hard work he puts in. Kevin, of all the people you faced, who is the toughest guy for you to score against down low? Let's again, geography. Who is the toughest to score against down there?
Listen, I know a lot of people, I've always said Rasheed Wallace, I've always said Tim Duncan. They're probably the two that brought a different level of play out of me, but shout out to Cliff Robinson, man. Cliff Robinson, I don't know if people know this, but Cliff Robinson, man. Cliff Robinson was one of the better defenders in the post. He was very strong. He was very long. He didn't go for any counters. He was very disciplined. He was well prepared because he was a veteran. The refs let him get away with a lot, touching and grabbing. He knew when to be physical in some positions. He knew to do what we call work early. He would meet you at the three-point line, and he would be fighting you, and you would post up probably like a step outside the three-point line. He was really good at some of his techniques and how he was able to control the court. After the game, I watched a lot of his tape and I took a lot of his, I had to because it was so effective against me that I was able to use it against other post players on the defensive end. I never knew that sport. Dennis Rodman was another guy I watched a lot. Tim Olajuwon I watched a lot because these guys were laterally very similar to my makeup. Tim Olajuwon was long. He was able to laterally move with you. I was laterally able to move with guards and able to laterally slide with some of the forwards and some of the laterally gifted power forwards. And with that, able to get my feet together, being able to block shots, challenge the rim, stuff like that. Things that if you're going to get better at something, you got to go and reach and find the great ones that did it before you and take it, and then I was able to apply it and I did those things.
And a look at the starters for the Cavaliers. The two stars, LeBron and Love, making up the forward positions. Isaiah Thomas out there with Wells, and his garbage man in at the 5 down low. And the 3 ball is good. Kevin, you were always known as wanting to play, always wanting to practice. You were a gym rat. What did you do when a coach would ask you maybe to take a break? Let's sit out this game. Let's rest up. Would you welcome that? Would you just say, I'll let you know when I can't go? How would you handle that situation?
You know what? I've always asked the coach to respect the way I get ready for him. I've always asked him to respect the way I approach the game. I've always asked the coach to respect me and my expertise in knowing my body. I'm very, very vocal. Listen, if one person needs rest, it's me. I know how to raise my hand. I know how to say I need some rest. But, I'm a person who likes to push through a lot of things. I'm a person who understands rest, don't get me wrong. But at the same time, I'm a person who understands that practice makes perfect. And if I can work on something for as long as I can to make something better, because I know at the end when I need it, especially when I used to call it dial up. When I call, I need the answer.
Yeah, trying to get going here, but that's an offer for the first 5 here to start the game.
Back to Thomas. 6 to shoot. They set the pick. Cleveland needs to get a shot off here. And people may not know, KG, that you're not just a broadcaster for 2K, but you're a member of the 2K community. Very much so.
Listen, shout out to 2K players out there. I'm Jizzle Boy, y'all know what it is. I'm Jizzle Boy 5. Shout out to my OBF team, y'all know what it is. Shout out to Dave, shout out to Bug, shout out to everybody out there playing. Right, wow. It's all good, I'm OBF, I'm about the team, I'm gang, you know what it is. Jizzle Lord, y'all holler at me, y'all know what it is, 2K. Right.
And Kevin, you've recently gotten a chance to do more TV. Your show Area 21 has been tremendous, and critics love it. Talk about this chapter of your career.
Well, it's something that I wasn't planning on, but Turner brought me a great concept, and it fit the mold of what any man cave is, and that's really what it is. But the fact that we can go in and watch games on multiple channels, see multiple games, articulate it, get it from a perspective of a player, fresh out of this generation of players, give an understanding to this generation of players is very important because these players now are very different. Teaching these young players still being mentors of these players is very important. And still understanding it's still a beautiful game. Man, the game is growing. I'm watching these kids doing all types of different stuff, man, that the creativity in our game now is so heightened. So yeah, I'm having a bunch of fun, which is one thing I never forgot. The piece of advice you've always told me, man, say continue to enjoy what you do, and it'll show. And I'm hoping that I'm making you proud of that, Kay. I'm enjoying what I'm doing.
You're an incredible ambassador to all of those things. The game, the fun of life. You capture a lot of the fun of life.
I'm trying, man. I'm enjoying it. So hopefully it will show.
Wiggins, and that one hits back iron.
It's almost as if there's a lid on the hoop for him right now. He still hasn't got one to fall in the court.
Kevin, when you played, we all know how intense you were, how much you cared. That, to me, was the thing that you cared so much about the product, about your team, about the game. But some people have said that maybe there was a streak of you that was mean is maybe not the right word, but you were overly aggressive. But how do you think you could have played any different?
I call it dialed in. I like to think that if you're trying to accomplish something, then, I only know one way to accomplish it. You go at it with everything you have.
Yes.
You go to dominate it and take it over. You don't go at something light.
Can't walk through the park with this game.
Not at all. And this game is full of talented elites. night in, night out, you're playing someone that can typically go for 50 easy.
So true. Thomas kicks to LeBron. Throws it down as the official calls the foul. It may be a three-point play. It's going to be on Andrew Wiggins.
And from the opening tip, they just crushed it. Yeah, you see it now on the scoreboard.
Clearly in great rhythm. They've got it going on. I mean, in a big way. Excellent job at establishing a huge lead early on.
Timberwolves trail by 16. Kevin, come out of high school, you were relatively mature for your age at 17, turning 18, but do you ever regret not trying college and just seeing what that experience would have been like? I mean, it's such a long time ago, but you've had some chance probably to get some perspective on both sides of that story.
You know what, Kim, I look at it like the unknown is the unknown. Obviously, I've had friends that went to college. Some of my best friends went to college, and I think I've kind of lived it through them a little bit. Listen, when you have responsibility early in life,
Which you did.
which I did.
Yes.
And, you know, so from a mature level, things that interest me are not that interesting as you get older, especially when you have to deal with the rigorous schedule of the NBA schedule. I wasn't able to, be the 17, 18-year-old, chill, have, lean on my parents a little bit, be able to be at home, coming home through the weekends. So I had a real life that I was responsible for, and I was growing something. I was building something. I was trying to not just be a young player in our league, but a young businessman wanting to establish something for myself, my friends, my family. You can't do those things thinking like a normal 17, 18-year-old, taking pieces from grown men around you all the time. You're around people who need something all the time. At some point, you have to put all this together. You have to make it work for you. You have to put your spin on it and for how it works for you and your brand. And you have to be innovative with that. You have to be creative with that. You have to have a vision.
Wow, there's a lot to consider. Butler kicks to Jones. The shot's good on the assist by Butler. Jones has got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball. Kevin, when you're talking about influences, you mentioned Chris Webber's name a lot.
Yeah, C-Web was kind of, he and Stacey Ogden was at a time where I was trying to find myself as a player.
Search for a roadmap, maybe. Who do I most resemble?
Not only that, but just some direction. At the time, I was a big who had handles, and if you know anything about Southern coaches, they don't want their big handling the ball. So you get the ball to a guard or whatever. It wasn't until I got to Chicago to where the scouts or people were able to see like, wow, this big man can handle the ball, he has to handle it a little bit. And then my high school coach would actually make me bring the ball up to show off and showcase.
No kidding.
I hated it. I was like, oh my God.
But look at what happened.
Bring the ball up.
And he knew that turning, I could handle it. I was like, oh my God, I hated this. And he knew I would go and dunk the one. I was like, man, I don't want to shoot. He was like, no, bring the ball. Anyways.
Wallace with it. Now guarded by Tom. Here's Garbage Man. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass. Garbage Man's got 6 points.
Defensively, they've got to pick up the intensity. Hard to win surrendering this high of field goal percentage.
Yeah, you got to turn up the dial on the intensity at the defensive end if you're them. And it's still early, but I agree with you.
Some changes for Minnesota. Gorky Dames checked in for Gibson. Shabazz Muhammad comes in for Wiggins. And it's Crawford in for Butler. And then for Cleveland, Jake Crowder's checked in for Love. Smith comes in for Wells. And it's Rose in for Isaiah Thomas. Got a hand on it, and he gets it back. Jones, no one around him. No good there, and that would have cut it to single digits. Cleveland leading by 12. Here's Smith. Rebound by Chang.
Oh, great effort there. That's how you defend the paint.
Exactly. You can't play it any better than that, Greg.
Yeah, we see some coaches get extremely emotional on the sideline. Others take a more even-keeled approach, more calm on the sideline. Which coaching style would you prefer to play for when you were in your club? Did you want a coach who was animated, or did you want a coach who was just kind of set on the sideline?
You know what? I like the coach that was settled on the sideline. I like to think that great coaches are going to be able to coach you in practice, and then during the games, it's about the product and what you put on the floor. Coaches that have understanding, coaches that have vision, coaches that understand the game, understand that it's a game of runs, that it's a game of momentum, that has plays for those moments and those times. Coaches I've always gravitated to
Like Doc was kind of in between, like a little bit of emotion, but he could also have a calm demeanor on that side.
Doc was on fire. I'm sorry. There was nothing calming about
To cover
Doc.
Doc's back here.
No, shout out to Doc. Doc will rip your head off if you wasn't supposed to. But you know what? You need to play with that edge. You need to know that if you wasn't in your spot, 1 through 15, you understood that you were supposed to be there. And it's good to play with them. I think that you don't want to be out there playing like, this no big deal. Every play is a big deal. And no play is you. Absolutely. Absolutely. And you know what? That severity, and you play with that importance, and know that you're playing for the next guy. So that's important.
Kevin, what a lot of fans don't get to see is all the work players do behind the scenes at home, before games, after games, on off days. Can you talk a little bit about that? Getting your body ready from the end of one game to play the next one. And I've seen it. What are you talking about?
The wellness starts right after you stop playing. And then you come off the court, the ice. You got to do progressions where right after the game you shower. And obviously you got to get massages. You got to get some type of wellness on your legs just because you're doing so much. People don't know that you have to lift weights. When we was in Boston, we lift every other day. We had a stimulus and strength program from Shaka Bidu. Brian Booth was our strength coach up there, never let us get a day off. And if you didn't lift weights, then we find you as a players find you. Because it's important for you to come in here and be strong. We need everybody to be as strong as they can be. So you have to lift. And then actually, you practice. But after practice, you have to put time into your own personal game.
Right. So much goes into it. It's amazing. Crawford, you know what?
Rare you'll see him miss such an open look.
Basket, good. Smith's got his first basket of the night. 109 left here in the first quarter. Rose against Jones. Towns sets the pick for Jones. Pass to Towns. Basket made just his second this contest. He's 2 for 7 now.
Still in the process of shining his game up. Towns looking like a seasoned vet there.
On the basket, and the rejection by Towns.
Shot block twice.
Crawford against Smith. Towns sets the pick for Crawford. He kicks it to Muhammad. To the paint. Trying to find Towns. Gets it to him. He shoots again. Happy to see that one going after missing 6 of his 9 shots today.
Hey, scoring off misses, that's easy buckets. Something Towns has the length and tenacity to do on a regular basis.
Smith gets the pick for Rose. They set the screen. Muhammad with the steal. With 1 on the clock. You can't get that one to fall. And so it's LeBron James making things happen for the Cleveland Cavaliers. He got into double digits for the quarter with 10 points total. Right back after this break. And a guy who seems to improve every season, Jimmy Butler.
It's crazy because I never thought that anybody would.
Hard to doubt the occasion. Pickford substitution now for Minnesota. Towns, he's checked in for Jack. Gibson comes in for James Michael McAdoo. Higgins is checked in for Shabazz Muhammad. And Jimmy Butler in for Jamal Crawford. Kevin, we've all seen the evolution of the perimeter-style offense. Do you think it'll ever go so far that we'll see the game come back to an inside-oriented offensive scheme?
I think right now that with pace being the way it is now, Kev, I don't see it necessarily going through or going back to playing through the post. Although you have to have an alternative. I think that you just can't be all 3-pointers and layups. I think you have to have a constant flow of inside-outside. I think it helps to have a post player. I think having a post player or a true post player that can score and dominate the middle opens up threes and opens up ball movement.
You played during the transition too, didn't you? From a grinded out type of game inside to spacing.
I did, and I like to say that Doc Rivers started the small ball, and we were very, very keen on the small ball. So I think in today's game, you got to be able to shoot the 3 down and be able to handle the ball and put the ball on the floor and make decisions. So it shows that the game is transformed.
Butler teams with Wiggins as the deadly wing duo. Gibson is the 4 with Towns in the middle, and it's Jones in at the point. So that's the lineup for Minnesota. Now let's go to the sideline and catch up with our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge.
Thanks, Kevin. Garbage man in the last game against the Grizzlies was terrific. He had 37 points and controlled the boards, pulling down more than 20 rebounds. It's rare to see any player put up numbers like that. It's likely a game he'll always remember. Kevin?
David, appreciate the report. He was a one-man show in that game.
And, you know, it'll be interesting to see how much that took out of him. I mean, he'll have a hard time putting up anything even close to those numbers here tonight.
Well, Greg, you know where I'm going. He was a stat sheet stuffer in that game. Did a little bit of everything and did it all well.
Kevin, when you entered the draft, no player had made the jump from high school to the NBA in 20 years. And what were your emotions when your name was called number 5 overall?
I remember that. It was
17 years old?
17, just turning 18 at the time. I was in like a whirlwind, to be honest. A lot of people don't know. It's a lot of stuff that goes up into the draft. You know, things that I wasn't aware of. Training twice a day. You're trying to get ready for the combine. Trying to get ready for the draft. You got the workouts. This is all new. You know, top of still going to high school, trying to graduate and stuff. So I figured it out. I hustled and I bustled and I juggled a bunch of different things. But once your name is called, it's almost like the culmination. It all comes together. It's a special moment for just you and your family and your loved ones and the ones around you. And when my name was called, it felt like the world had stopped and everything was going very slow.
And guys, I think Jimmy Butler has all the tools you could want in a two-way player. He's an excellent defender, and he also can score the ball from just about anywhere.
Love the pass to Thomas. And KG, you're retired from the game now, and you're stepping into the broadcast business a little bit now.
You see me? You know what? Area 21 is something that is authentic. It's me. I'm having a great time watching the games. It's really cool being a fan now. I can root for people I want to root for. I don't have to worry about preparing and who I'm a guard and I'm getting the tea. So you know what? It's a great time. It's work. You know, it's not just you come on there and you have a bunch of fun. I mean, we actually get some things done, and but we have a great time. Hey, Kev, listen, watching you, being around you, you know, man, the great, rest in peace to Craig, you know, Ernie, all of Charles, all these great influences, man, has definitely helped, not just me, but our younger generation of broadcasters, man. It's totally, I didn't see this being my lane, but I'm having fun with it.
They've done a great job. Rocket 2 fires from the wing. It's Garbage Man. And at last, they get one to fall. Garbage Man's got 13 points. Jones dishes to Gibson. Towns, the screen. Wiggins with it. He's picked up by LeBron. And that one is good.
This is the dilemma defensively. I mean, when Wiggins glides off the pick, it's hard to shadow.
Now, here's Wells. Defense right on him. It's a pick by Love. Shoots a fader. They get it back. Boom, he jams it straight down.
And doing some dirty work on the offensive glass.
And then fouls it up Greg with heavy-duty jam on his mind with a terrific putback.
Got a pigeon on that one. Easy money right there, fellas. Going old school on you young fellas. Look that up, pigeon.
KG, I know you can't stay any longer. You've got to move on, but we appreciate your time, and it's always great to see you.
Kev, anytime, man. It's great to see you, man. Anytime you need me, let me know, man. I'm yours.
Former MVP, Defensive Player of the Year and champion, Kevin Garnett. Always fun to have Kevin Garnett on the set, Mark. You can tell he was in high spirits as usual.
Worked out.
You have to respect his continued zeal for the game.
Yeah, he's never lacked for passion or zeal. It's been part of what made him such a great player, a Hall of Famer in the future. And I don't think that's ever going away. I mean, he's really a kid at heart and played the game that way, which was a pleasure to watch. And, man, it's been really cool seeing him do what he did as an NBA player and actually giving back to some of the younger guys that are coming up in the league now.
Here's Thomas. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
Yeah, nice, strong finish there. Nearly a three-point opportunity.
Full throttle, pedal to the metal, attacking basketball. I like that.
The Cavaliers have gone 2 for 2 in the game at the line. One of the toughest parts about playing for the Minnesota Timberwolves is the travel schedule.
Yeah.
Clark, even interdivision games can involve lengthy flights, and the team travels more than any other in the NBA.
Yeah, and you know, everybody travels, and it is part of the league, but it is a small disadvantage for Minnesota to deal with. Not a big one, but nonetheless something unique to them as a team. Not much you can do about it, though. That's their lot. They've got to make it work.
Butler kicks to Towns. It's blocked.
Get that weak shit out.
Minnesota will retain possession. Seconds left in the second quarter.
And you know what? He's just not on his game, no doubt about it. Their deficit isn't totally on him, but he has not been an asset for his team.
And I'll tell you what, guys, I think that's the best part of James's game, and he's got a lot of good parts, but his vision is otherworldly.
Outside, Jones. He got it up. And so it's the Cleveland Cavaliers controlling the game and finishing the quarter with a 20-point lead. The three-point shooting has come fast and furious to the tune of what has become a big-time blowout in progress. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thanks, Kevin. Andrew, they shot the lights out in the first half. What has to change?
Get back. You know, focus on getting back, guarding your man, and not taking it real.
Starts with a man-on-man challenge.
Okay, David, much appreciated. And now time for halftime. So we'll be back in just a bit to get the third quarter underway.
Screw you, Tom.
And as we welcome you back, we begin our second half. So far, not a tightly contested game, guys, but you know, anything can happen. We're seeing a tremendous game from Garbage Man.
Yeah, and the fact he's posted a double-double with about half the game left to play, that's impressive.
And you know what, Greg? He's showing no signs of slowing down. Now, this game has been all him, and he's been a force.
Third quarter action getting rolling right now, brought to you by Gatorade. All field up and ready to go. Here's who's on the floor. So on the floor for Cleveland, LeBron and Love are the deadly forward pair. Wells is out there with Isaiah Thomas, and it's Garbage Man in at the 5 spot. Here's James. Oh!
That works, LB. That works.
Oh, man!
And there's no question that James is one of the best dunkers ever. A forceful finisher who loves showing off his athleticism.
Jones kicks to Towns, and he could not get that one to go. Out of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. That one on Love. And Clark, one thing you have to love about Towns is just how self-aware and humble he is. He's always looking to hone his game, and even when he puts up a big night, he can look at the tape and find something that he's got to improve on.
Yeah, that's admirable. His humility and his selflessness, being aware of what's going on, where he needs to get better, and that's part of why I think he's a leader on this team. He'll own his mistakes, and he also is owning his personal development and improvement. So the future's bright for this guy.
Here's Gibson. A shot missing. Good D by Love.
And that's the battle they haven't been winning today. Their work on the glass has been porous, and that's got to change.
Yeah, no question about it.
That pass.
Looking to battle back.
I don't know why I got that
key
pass.
elements. You got to rebound.
Here's Jones. The teardrop falls in. Jones has got 7 points in the game.
Why I got that
about
pass?
the release when you shoot the flow.
People crashing boards. Why did I get that pass?
Jones against Thomas.
Circle.
It's a pick by Love. To the right side. This one for 3. That one falls, coming off of Thomas's feet. And the Cavaliers lead by 19. For Minnesota, they've gone 2 of 3 from the field to start the second half. Jones kicks to Gibson. Screen by Jones. Towns, the pass to Wiggins.
Come on, Towns, you want to
He
shoot
dishes
that?
it to Gibson over Love. And good. At the English that time as it falls. Gibson's got his first 2 points.
The second half has started quite well. They've been good on 3 of their first 4 attempts.
LeBron kicks to Love. Back to James. It's a pick by Love. No one near James as he lets it go. Rebounded by the Timberwolves. Towns has got double-digit rebounds now in the game. And it's Wiggins missing. Last game for the Cavaliers, they picked up the W against the Grizzlies.
And typically on the road, it's harder to get into a great rhythm offensively, but they did just that.
Yeah, and from the start, Greg, you could tell they were ready to go. Loved how
Don't get a screen assist on that.
confident, aggressive, attack mode.
Some bullshit.
They don't care where the games are played. They're ready to get it done.
And the Timberwolves call timing. They come into this one following.
That's some bullshit. I should have got a screen assist on
Listen,
that.
I've seen worse performances offensively, but no doubt that group was inconsistent.
For sure. I agree with you there. They just didn't have it seem like they were a step behind and out of sync.
And some changes here for the Timberwolves. McAdoo is checked in for Gibson. Shabazz Muhammad comes in for Andrew Wiggins. And it's Crawford in for Butler. Another miss by Minnesota.
A slight rebound advantage for them. One more column in their favor, and it's all adding up.
Well, you take a look at all of the stats, the team stats that is, and that's one of the many areas that they've had the advantage. And as a result, they've got a big lead.
Here's
That was horrible.
He doesn't hit that one. Nice tee for Rose. And we've got an update here, so let's check in with David Aldridge reporting from the sideline.
Guys, analytics has taken over the NBA, but Minnesota coach and president of basketball operations Tom Thibodeau says it doesn't tell you everything. He said analytics can measure a lot of things, but it's very difficult to measure drive. Magic is in work. Kevin?
And Tom Thibodeau makes a good point, D.A. Analytics is certainly helpful, but it doesn't capture everything. Jones kicks to Towns. Cavaliers with the rebound.
Boy, incredible effort on defense, refusing to give him an uncontested layup. Nothing easy.
The basket counts and one. They'll go to the line with a chance to make it a 3-point play.
The ball movement on this run has been fantastic, and is a big part of why they've been able to get these good looks.
Steph checked in for LeBron. And a moment to look at the scoring approach in terms of where the points are coming from for the Cavaliers.
So far, they've turned in a fantastic performance from the three-point line. It's been a weapon all game.
Yeah, but also give them credit for the layups they've had tonight after strong drives to the basket.
Towns sets the pick for Jones. He dishes it to Towns. Makes it off the glass. Towns has got 4 points this quarter.
Well-coordinated play there. I mean, Towns rolls off at the right time. So important. The timing of that roll, and shows good finishing ability on the move.
Hey, Clark, when you look around the league today, is there a player that you watched and think, hey, that
come on.
how I used to play?
There are a number of guys that come to mind. A little bit. Tobias Harris, who's an outstanding player, terrific young player and young man. Has a game similar to mine in that he's really versatile, does a lot of things well, not super flashy, but very productive. He comes to mind right off the top of my head currently.
His hard work on the backboard really just has given them more opportunities to score.
Rose kicks to Thompson. Here is Garbage Man, defended by Towns.
And the one-hand slam just looks so pretty when it's in his hand and he's the one doing the slam.
Agreed. He is smooth as silk, even at a power finish.
Part of what makes him unique, guys, is that combination of power and polish.
Crawford kicks to McAdoo. Towns sets the pick for Jones. Rose with the double team. Goes up on the high post. Jones will up. Cleveland leading by 23. Osmond. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle and 2 shots coming up. And a look down at the 4 areas where shots can come from. The paint, mid-range, and shots from deep all broken down for the Cavaliers.
And they are going where the going is good for them right now. The painted area, high percentage and high volume shots.
down the first one. Chang, he's checked in for Minnesota. And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time. One thing that Tom Thibodeau can be depended on as a coach is giving his star players a lot of minutes. In fact, in Chicago, Clarkson criticized him for doing that. Others praised him for it. But the fact of the matter is, if you're a team leader, he expects you to be on the floor a lot and produce a lot.
Yeah, and you know, that's part of the job. Hey, when you get right down to it, if you're one of the best players, you've got to show up and do your job all the time. And you look at players who've played under Thibodeau. I mean, he's had the league leader in average minutes 3 times in his career as a coach. Said himself that he expects his guys to get used to what star players do, which includes a lot of minutes.
Crawford kicks to Towns. Dishes it to Muhammad. Back to Towns. Teardrop shot, and he lays it up and in. Towns has got 10 points in just the second half.
He's simply a machine at the offensive end. I wonder how far behind they'd be if he wasn't having this kind of quarter.
There's the screen. Osman misses the 3.
And you know what? You can't get a better screen. Frees him up beautifully, but he just fails to capitalize.
Clearly a frustrating missed opportunity there. Perfect screen, got him the space he needed, but he bricked it.
Rose kicks to Thompson. Back to Rose. Thompson, a screen on Jones. Here's Rose. That one falls. Rose has got his 3rd bucket of the night.
And you love to see Rose aggressively looking to score on the inside.
Outside, Jones kicks it to Muhammad. Here's Towns. It's deflected. Osman, guarded by Crawford. No good there with this step-back J. For Minnesota, they've gone 8 of 16 in the 3rd quarter to put their second half shooting percentage right at 50%. Offensive rebound. Chang, a screen. Crawford outside. Jacks up a 3. You can't get that one. And it's the Cavaliers taking it the other way. Last time they met in Cleveland.
Yeah, unfortunately for them, I thought the opponent's defense just never showed up.
Yeah, you know what? The waters were calm for most of the game. I mean, little resistance. Felt like they could get any look they wanted at any time.
Here's Towns. Gets in front of the rim and out.
You're not going to see that very often. Plenty of space, but he just, let's face it, he whiffs on that.
And count it. The shot is good. He'll go to the free throw line.
Well, this is what he likes to do. Try to break your spirit.
Yeah, I think he's trying to put this one away, quite honestly. I mean, it feels like he can lay it up against any type of defense, and he can't.
Cavaliers making a switch here. Crowder's checked in. It's deflected. Here's Towns. It's tipped.
It's a +5 advantage for them in rebounding after that one.
Rose dishes to Thompson. Back to Rose. A screen from Thompson. Over Chang. That one off the back iron and out. Minnesota's gone 0-2 from deep to start things here in the second half. They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
And that one goes out of bounds. Nice touch by Crawford. And here is the 2K leaderboard with the list of the NBA's top rebounding teams this season. The Cavaliers, number 1.
They are tenacious when it comes to attacking the backboard. Physical, smart, and determined. No surprise to see them at the top of the ranking.
Here's what Minnesota's going with right now. Jimmy Butler comes in for Jamal Crawford. And Andrew Wiggins is...
come on!
Butler with the ball. Now guarded by Wells. Thompson against Towns. Shot to stop the drought, and he gets contact.
Come on, Crowder.
On the shot. 2 shots coming up.
Hedge.
Gets called for the foul.
And you know what's impressive about Towns to me, guys, at this young age?
Thompson
The
both had you.
preparation he puts into each and every game. He's a true pro in that regard.
The first free throw is good.
You know, you watch Karl Anthony Towns, and he just epitomizes the future of the NBA big man. Extremely versatile, gets it done inside and outside at both ends of the floor, and has a fluidity to his game that belies his size.
Kevin Love's checked in for Cleveland. Thomas passes to Crowder. They set the pick. 5 on the clock, and stolen by Wiggins. For the finish, and it's Wiggins with the jam.
Great speed by Wiggins there. I mean, makes him a dominant finisher in transition. Speed kills, and oftentimes you can't control it.
And with Towns and him being the future of the NBA big man, the numbers he's put up at a young age are staggering. Clark just looks like a guard out there sometimes.
Well, there's a good reason for that, Kevin. You know, Towns actually played guard before a big growth spurt. I think that clearly helps with his skills, and that's why he's so comfortable creating. It's a perfect situation for a guy like him to revolutionize what a low block player can do.
Johnson, he's checked in for Minnesota. Now here's Muhammad. He's averaging just around 8.5 points a game. Wiggins outside. Back to Jang. No good that time. Some solid defense from Garbage Man. Crowder with it, and it's Johnson picking him up. Crowder kicks to Thomas. Nailed from three-point land. Thomas got 13.
The assist totals, Kevin, just continue to grow. They're way ahead in that category. Ball movement has been flawless.
Clearly just an example of a different mindset between these teams.
Jang dishes to Wiggins. Pocket 6. Here's Butler. No rebound by Garbage Man.
Well, the edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead.
And really a reflection of their superior effort level to this point. It seems to me they've gone after this win a little bit more.
I mean, he is tearing the defense apart, and let's face it, they have not brought their A game on this side of the ball.
Well, Greg, it was the exact same kind of offensive showcase for him in their last game, too. When it happens this often, that's not a pattern. That's a characteristic.
And so it's Cleveland in complete command. Their lead at 28 points going into the break. From the field, they have been outstanding. Amazing shooting. That's what has them headed to a blowout. We'll take a quick break and then back to the action here. And now we take a listen into the recent huddle from Tom Thibodeau.
One shot, then when we make a miss, run and run through so we get some spacing.
Minnesota making some changes. Towns, he's checked in for Leonard. Shabazz Muhammad comes in for Brandon Bass. And it's Crawford in for Johnson. Butler teams with Wiggins as the deadly wing duo. Karl Anthony Towns is out there with Shabazz Muhammad. And it's Crawford at the 1 spot. So that's the lineup for Minnesota. This is it to Towns. Wiggins kicks to Towns. And Crawford with the basket on the assist by Towns. And it's 9 points for Jamal Crawford.
Yeah, the vision of Towns sees the whole floor. Finds an unguarded teammate there.
No good from Garbage Man. Minnesota's gone 2 in the fourth quarter from long range. Good shooting so far. He's fouled on the shot. 1 free throw coming up.
And you know, he's enjoyed the kind of day you expect in terms of shooting the basketball. He can bring them right back into this game.
Tyus Jones, he's checked in for Jamal Crawford. Well, Clark, you had the distinct honor of playing force against the former president of the U.S., Barack Obama. You lost that game, I don't want to remind you, but I want an honest answer. Did you let him win that contest?
Kevin, the deal is that it was an unbelievable privilege to play POTUS. We changed the letters of that game back in 2010, and I let the president up. I gave him life after I had him down, and he took advantage of turning the momentum in his favor. He won fair and square. I did give him an opportunity to win, but he's on top in that matchup, and I think it ended up being good television. And while some of my former teammates look at me with disdain for having lost a horse game to the president, I think it was all intended to end just the way it did.
Minnesota making a switch here. Zhang's checked in. Thompson sets the pick for Thomas. And he connects on the jumper. His three did the trick. Thomas got 9 points here in the second half.
And that's what you give up when you don't fight over the screen.
Yeah, I agree with you wholeheartedly. I mean, not a lot of effort put forth on defense there. I mean, I think he's definitely got to play up on him more off the screen in that situation.
Towns the screen. Here's Wiggins. And the rebound goes to the Cavaliers. They'll be hosting Orlando for the next one. That game will be a quick pit stop before hitting the road again. James against Zhang. Thompson a screen on Zhang. From the line. Rebounded by the Timberwolves.
Oh, come on.
Towns has got rebound number 17, if you can believe that. Butler attacking. Wells with the steal. And now Wells pushing it up. No one back to stop him.
Wells is not easy to keep up with in transition because he has such excellent quickness in the open floor.
Minnesota shooting for the game at 42%.
Feel like it saw me twice.
Jones the pass to Wiggins. Here's Butler. Towns the screen. Shot from free throw range. Shot's good from Butler. Butler's got 21.
How about the focus from Butler there? I mean, not letting the defense affect his shot at all. No distraction, knowing he's got the upper hand close to the bucket.
Here's Thomas. And Cleveland again with the bucket.
And he's having quite the quarter, converting at a really high percentage.
Towns the screen. Wiggins a screen on Thomas. Wiggins outside. Feeds to Butler. And stolen by LeBron. Here's Thomas. Good, and the assist goes to LeBron. LeBron's got 6 assists now in the game.
And at the offensive end, he's done about as much as they could have hoped for today.
Jones kicks to Butler. Pass to Wiggins. Towns sets the pick for Wiggins. And he didn't get quite enough under that one. Cleveland's gone 2 or 3 in the fourth quarter from long range. Good shooting so far. LeBron passes to Garbage Man. There's the dish to Thomas. Now Wiggins. Again, Wiggins missing.
The shooting numbers just aren't there yet in the quarter.
And Thompson kicks to Thomas. There's the feed to Wells. Thomas sets a screen for Wells. Thompson dishes to Thomas. Here's Wells. That 3 off the mark.
He's tried to get it going, but the shots simply have not been there. Nothing seems to be wrong.
Wiggins passes to Jones. Towns the screen. Jones kicks to Zhang. Pass to Towns. 6 to shoot. Jones with it. Now guarded by Garbage Man. The Timberwolves again can't hit. And it's the Cavaliers with the ball. LeBron with it. Now defended by Wiggins. Thomas a screen. That's a floater go. And fouled on the shot, so the bucket counts and a chance for one more here.
And you got to respect and appreciate how polished LeBron is inside. I mean, he really excels at creating opportunities for himself close to the rim.
Big group substitution now for Minnesota. James Michael McAdoo's checked in for Karl Anthony Towns. Johnson comes in for Andrew Wiggins. Jamal Crawford, he's checked in for Jimmy Butler. And it's Muhammad in for Tyus Jones. A shot off that time. And here are the Cavaliers. Big run right now going for them, 11-2. Here's James. Gets it to fall, and now he's 10 of 15 on the game.
And when James gets going, there's no stopping him. Just a dynamite scorer who feels he can get any shot he wants.
Stolen. Osman, guarded by Crawford. And the NBA has tinkered with the All-Star voting in recent years. Fans no longer get 100% of the say for the starters. Clark, how do you feel about that change?
I like it. I mean,
Where's that my turnover?
Fans desire to be
Threw it in the defender's chest.
Have an opportunity to be engaged in the voting because they're so important to the success and popularity of the league. So I like the fans having a piece of the vote. 100% is far too much, so I think the fact that you've got it weighted between fans and those who follow the league closely, along with coaches, is about the right blend to me.
And as we head to the final buzzer here, a crushing blowout, big-time dominance, and this will go in the record books as a gaudy win for Cleveland.
A beautiful pass doesn't always get you on the highlight reels, but there were some spectacular dishes in this game.
You know what? It was a team that was in sync and just trusted one another to take the right shots.
And it'll advance the win total up to 12 on the season.
Really, they had their number this season. 2 wins, a home win, and an away win.
Yeah, you know, I thought the result might be a little different this time around, but clearly I was mistaken. Now they'll have to wait till next year for a shot at revenge.
And as usual, some excellent work tonight in what was a quality big impact game for Garbage Man.
You have to love the way that he was closing out on defensive trips. He would always body up, and it's why he ended with so many boards.
And here is LeBron. Left side Rose. Here is Garbage Man. And so it's Cleveland taking care of business in this game. To come into an opponent's building and dominate the way they did tonight says, I think, Greg, an awful lot about this team.
I guess they don't need us.
Hey, DJ. Great game out there. Look, Shaq and the guys want to talk to you in the studio.
Really?
So stand, right this way. Stand here.
Okay.
We'll get you set up. Perfect.
That's good.
Hey, Shaq here. You showed me a lot out there tonight with the way you were able to dominate the glass. Was that something you set out to do?
Shaq, something that we always talk about in practice and in meetings is how we want to close out possessions on defense. I mean, that is something that we all bought into, and it's the goal of ours each time we take the court. So I'm not so much worried about my individual performance on the glass so much as how we rebound as a team.
Spoken well. You should take Kenny's place. Back to you, Ernie.